Alright, so we're going to go over hooks and their uses. So this big mamma jammer over here on the far left. That's for some big stuff. I'd say you could probably use that for some freshwater catfish fishing or whatever if you really want to, but you don't need to. The second one down, the black one, the octopus hook or whatever you want to call it. I've used those and they've had pretty good luck for a couple things. I believe that's meant for deep sea fishing, but I've used it for freshwater and saltwater. I can't remember. The next one is just a big gigantic circle hook. In the middle, this little satin finish true turn. This is the most catfish catching hook. I have many years of fishing and many summers of doing absolutely nothing but fishing all day, every day. This little guy, I believe these are the True Turn 2-aught, if I'm correct. Can't remember. I don't have the packaging because I just have a big old box of hooks. This is just one of my tackle boxes. I probably have 5 or 6 other go bags of fishing tackle from different excursions. But anyways, this hook in particular, I've always had awesome luck with. It's not too big. You can catch smaller fish with it. And it's big enough to where you can catch really big fish. I have never had one of these straighten out. I might have had a couple break, but those are flukes. Badass hooks right here. I believe these are the True Turn 2-aught. Use these a lot for flatheads, channel cats, big stuff. You occasionally catch some bass on them. Great limb line hook and trot line hook. They have really nice points. Always very sharp. And then you got the slightly smaller circle hook. These are good for just about everything. There's not too much you can't catch with this. Slightly smaller than that. This is good for you can pull up just about any fish with this. Everything from little creek chub to catfish and bass. It's got a pretty decent size eyelet on it. You can fit, I'd say, up to 30 to 50 pound line on it. But you really don't want to do anything more than 20 pound on that. And then you got the, I believe these are size 8. These are awesome for small fish. So bluegill, creek chub, what else? I've caught a bunch of bass on these little guys. Just depends on who's hungry, I guess. But yeah, green sunfish, creek chub, bluegill, shellcracker, all the little tiny guys. And I also go smaller than this. I think this is an 8. I use size 10 hooks a lot for creek chub or fathead minnows, whatever you want to call them. I love catching small fish. It's really fun. And you can usually see them when you're trying to catch them. Just a whole lot of fun. I have a ball fishing anything from a itty bitty little nothing creek in a cow pasture to beach fishing on the ocean. But yeah, I figured I'd go over that. Let's see if there's anything smaller in here. There might be. Might be a size 10 in there. And that might be size. I don't know if it's a size 10 or size 8. It's just a little thin guy. I don't like these little thin hooks. They work fine for little small fish, but if anything bigger gets a hold of it, they just straighten right out. I don't trust them. But I do trust this. True Turn 2/0, if I'm correct. It's either 2 or 4. I think it's 2. Love these hooks. Yeah, I wouldn't trust this one. I mean, it's a big hook, but I wouldn't trust it with anything of any decent size. I'd think that'd straighten out pretty quickly. Unless it was like a tarpon or something. Something kind of weak. This guy, I could slap 50, 60 pound line on that and I wouldn't think it'd have any issues. You might have an issue at 100 pound, depending on what kind of line it is. I have caught some big stuff with this guy. It's got a hell of a point on it. Very pokey. But this hook right here is stupid expensive. For your bang for your buck, these True Turns are probably the best options for as far as trustworthy hooks that'll get the job done, and you won't ever have to worry about them breaking or straightening out and losing something. And then my second favorite hooks are these itty bitty tiny little size 8, size 10 hooks for everything smaller than catfish size stuff. Where did I put this little guy? Oh, there it is. And then I love me some pinch weights. They come in mighty handy. Not a huge fan of the big weights or these guys. I like pinch weights. They're nice. I probably have a healthy amount of heavy metals in my body from biting on pinch weights all my life. And these little lead heads, these are useful to an extent, but I've had a lot of them break off. Slap a nice little grub with a tail on it. Then you got these style worm hooks for the synthetic worms. Rig it to where just the end of the hook is out of the worm's nose, and then everything else is hidden. Some people call them weedless rigs, where you run it just like that through the worm. That way when the fish bites onto it, the hook comes up and you can get him. But I don't like fishing with worms too much. They work occasionally for medium, small bass. Oh,